Hi, everyone, and welcome to What the Hype. This is a brand new podcast from the creators of MuggleCast, Millennial, and many pop culture podcasts since 2005. Hi, Micah. Hi, Laura. Hi, Pam. Hi, Eric, the co-host of MuggleCast and Millennial.
Hello.
Hey.
How are y'all?
It's a big day for us.
I know.
Yeah.
We've been building up to this moment.
We're saving that announcement for next week.
We've fused.
That is not the news. The news is that What the Hype is this new podcast we are launching this week. And this is the class that you always wanted, but were never offered in school. Each week, a panel of pop culture junkies will educate each other on today's biggest books, shows, movies, and more. No matter your experience, there will be something for everyone. We'll be teaching each other, and we'll be teaching you too. If you're a total noob, we will educate you on why the fandom took off and what makes someone a true fan. And if you're already an expert, we will just see about that. Our subsequent episodes will take you on a deep dive and really test your standhood. And if you're somewhere in the middle on these fandom spectrums, teetering on the edge of fandom maybe, we will show you what the hype is all about.
Andrew, that was threatening, by the way. We'll see about that.
See about that.
We will see
Micah
about
wrote that.
that.
Micah wrote that.
I wrote the whole thing just for context, not just that one sentence.
That tracks. Well, you might be thinking, good God, another podcast in this economy. And you also might be thinking, when do you people sleep? Because we've definitely been rapidly expanding the amount of time we spend in front of our boxes talking to each other about stuff. But it's because we genuinely enjoy doing shows like this together. And we've been for a long time looking for a new podcasting opportunity to talk about the things that we like outside of Harry Potter, outside of complaining about all the issues that are affecting millennials. And we're big fans of a lot of other franchises. So we thought this was the perfect opportunity to do something to bring this group of friends together to just talk about stuff that we're into and stuff that we think you should be into too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're familiar with our other work, you know that we can get to the bottom of topics and leave no stone unturned. We all among us have 2 decades of podcast experience each that we bring to everything that we do. And now this is just another way of focusing on something that's very ambitious, pop culture. It's such a broad topic, but we look forward to it with such, attitude and confidence. We're gonna do it. So, the show's varying levels of depth too, because we're thinking that many things that we talk about will have multiple episodes devoted to them, which we'll get into in a minute. But essentially, the varying levels and how it's all set up is really, really cool because it's open for everyone and sort of your own experience with the property beforehand. Not necessary, or won't exclude you from enjoying the show.
So what makes this show different? No chapter by chapter. We just got tired of it. No more 7-word summary. We couldn't take the pressure. Really, the format is going to be different. We really want to introduce people to topics, explain what the hype is all about, and what's going on in the fandom, in the community, for each of these topics. We're going to dive deeper as each episode series progresses, while still doing episodes that could appeal to anyone, no matter your experience level within that fandom. And one other thing that's going to be different is the number of hosts per episode. So all 5 of us are not going to be on every single episode.
Oh, thank gosh.
So if people have a favorite host, sorry.
We're mixing it up. We're
5,
shaking it up.
hopefully there's at least 2.
Yeah, because we're so ambitious about sort of the schedule and planning this and covering everything that's hip that we love, it's necessitating this change.
And one of the great things that we're going to do is bring on experts, right, Pam?
Yes. Obviously, we're fans ourselves in varying degrees of different things. We just love stuff and we want to be excited about that. But we also know some really cool people, some people that we've worked with in the past. You'll probably see some familiar faces and names pop up because, we have friends of the show that we want to continue podcasting with. And we'll also have other friends that we'll introduce you all to that we genuinely think are super fans of the topics we're covering. And we're so excited to be launching with a few guests already as part of some of these first few episodes that you'll get to enjoy over the next few weeks. So more on that later, but we're really excited to have some fun people on joining us for these discussions too.
And we're also breaking tradition with when we're going to be releasing episodes. Feel like we've usually been like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday release girlies for the last 20 years. These episodes are actually going to be coming out on Fridays. But for the first couple of weeks, including this week, you're actually going to see a small batch of episodes that we've already got in the can. So we literally did our homework and we came prepared because we've already put some of these together before we even sat down to record this intro episode. So we're really excited for y'all to see everything that we have to offer now, but also what's coming in the weeks ahead.
Also, there are going to be 2 feeds for the show. So the censored version of this show will appear on the existing MuggleCast feed. So if you are a subscriber to MuggleCast, you won't need to do anything differently unless you want to hear some swears. If you want to hear some swears, you'll have to go to the What the Hype specific podcast feed, where a non-censored version of an episode is going to be called the WTF edition. And all of our episodes of What the Hype that we record are going to go on the individual What the Hype feed as well as YouTube. By the way, this is a video podcast.
This is new for us too, right? We are putting full episodes on YouTube, so please do go follow us on YouTube. There we are simply What the Hype Podcast. We'll have a link in the show notes, of course. And you might also be asking, why are we releasing episodes into the MuggleCast feed? We've never posted other stuff into the MuggleCast feed before. And we thought the best way to build an audience and grow the show would be to give it to the listeners of ours who already devour pop culture. You already enjoy our takes and our chemistry, so we're going to be giving you more of it. And plus, as was already mentioned, we're going to be releasing these episodes of What the Hype on Fridays. You will still get MuggleCast on Tuesdays as you always have. And by the way, nothing is changing about MuggleCast. It's going to be the same show you've come to know and love. It's just now we're giving you more pop culture talk.
This show is in the same family. What's not to love?
Right.
Well, we can swear.
Well, that's for the WTF edition.
I was going to say, I love that.
And by the way, speaking of the WTF edition, it won't just be swearing necessarily. There might sometimes be topics that we think might be a little too hot for some of the MuggleCast audience. And that stuff will get punted over to the WTF edition.
So prove us wrong. Subscribe to the What the Hype specific feed. Prove that you can take it.
I can see what you're saying, though. We are part of the same family. We're like the dirty uncle that, like,
I'm saying we share the same uncle. DNA is what I'm saying. All of us
have always had a ability to deliver inappropriateness without saying curse words. So I will just leave it there.
to speak with you about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There is an open case with HR, Micah. I should have warned you.
There's HR?
Before.
Forget it. I'm just leaving now.
We have a third podcast now.
Yeah.
We have to have an HR office.
That's probably true, right? There's probably some law somewhere.
So let's tease the upcoming episodes. Like Laura mentioned, we've already recorded several, and we have many more plans for the weeks ahead. What's coming up first, Pam?
Well, I'm glad that you teased maybe some steamy content that might not be okay for the MuggleCast feed, because one of the first episodes that we released as part of our big, grand entry into the podcast world is an episode on Bridgerton. So this is the first episode in a multi-part series. No worries if you haven't hopped on the Bridgerton train quite yet, because we kept it fairly spoiler-free. It's a great introduction into the world. And Laura and Micah joined me for that episode, in addition to a very special guest, Natasha Polis, who you might know from Those Forking Fangirls, which is a podcast that she hosts. She's also a social media guru influencer. And she's a super fan. So it was really, really fun to dive into the world of Bridgerton with her on our panel. And we're so excited to record part 2, which will be coming out shortly after season 3, part 2 drops on June 13th. So you'll be able to enjoy that on the 21st.
And we're actually turning our first couple of releases into like our own Barbenheimer moment, because we also recorded the beginning of a multi-part series about the boys, which airs on Amazon Prime. It's based on the comic book series of the same name. It's basically a series about superheroes where the superheroes are the bad guys. And we had so much fun putting together the primer episode, kind of like Pam was talking about with the primer episode for Bridgerton. It really doesn't matter if you haven't dipped your toe into the boys universe yet. It's a really great way to get an idea of what it's about. And even if you have been following the boys religiously, it's kind of a great refresher. Especially ahead of the new season that's coming. And season 4 of The Boys is also dropping on June 13th. So we really felt like we had to capture this energy and this like dichotomy between these
Nobody
two
asked
series.
us to do this, but we're doing it for you.
Yeah, 100%. So that part 1 primer is out now. So definitely go check it out. We will be doing a part 2 where we react to the first 3 episodes of season 4, which are dropping on June 13th. And then that'll come out on June the 21st. After that, we will be doing weekly episode reactions on YouTube. So these won't necessarily be full-on episodes that go up in the feed. But if you want to watch me and whoever else wants to join me freak out after episodes come out weekly, head on over to the YouTube. You can check it out there.
And then we will also be doing episodes of What the Hype that just look at broader areas of pop culture. For example, we have an episode out now called Fitting Pop Culture into Your Life, because there's always tons to consume. There's, as case in point with The Boys and Bridgerton, they're coming out the same day. How do you balance all of this content? We're in this era of peak TV. So we talk about that in that episode. And then we're also having an episode on audiobooks, listening to audiobooks. Is it the same as reading? Why do we like listening to audiobooks? Is traditional reading of a book better than listening to an audiobook? That is one episode that all 5 of us were on. I think that was the very first episode that we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be another area of pop culture that we're taking a look at very soon.
There was some
Those
hot
have been
takes.
some of my favorite episodes, those one-offs as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's nice
Yeah.
to talk about just like broader areas of pop culture.
Which I know we did that, fitting the pop culture into our life more for ourselves than anyone else, because we have all these new shows to watch.
Yeah.
But it was very useful. Very good tips on that episode.
And I just wanted to know how Laura and Eric watch TV every night. I just wanted to know like their personal lives.
Oh, the specific, cushion pattern, dog position,
spooning,
that's
cuddling,
right.
placement.
It got personal.
We had to talk about spooning positions and all kinds of other stuff. Andrew, I don't know why you didn't just send your drone to spy on us. Isn't that what you do to everyone else?
Hey, we potentially have new listeners. Let's not creep them out on
not
episode
yet.
1.
Okay.
Don't worry, Andrew can't get you. It's fine.
So, as was mentioned, one new episode will continue to arrive each Friday, except for this week. You get a ton of episodes this week. That's just like Christmas in June, basically, is what we decided to do. And we're going to do 2 days of multi-episode releases to celebrate and give you a big taste of what's going on. And in terms of what's coming up down the line, we're currently planning episodes on Heartstopper, House of the Dragon, Smut, and Ghostbusters. So, and in some cases, some of those topics can fit within other episodes. So I'm thinking like Smut and House of the Dragon. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think what's great about releasing it on Fridays, especially in the summertime, is this is a show you can take to the beach with you. You could take on walks with you, go on hikes. If you're taking those weekend trips, listen while you drive, listen while you're on vacation. And,
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do a podcast that comes out on Fridays. I think that'll be cool.
We also want to take this time to thank the people that have already come together and made the show really awesome and stand out in a very cool way. Specifically, Emily Cardamus, who created the album art for What the Hype, including the WTF edition. And also to Riley Harbaccio, you may have heard our opening theme song. It's the catchiest theme song I've ever heard for a podcast. And definitely just an amazing first.
Gives me 90s
us.
flashbacks.
Oh, it's so good.
It's an earworm. It's one of those songs I listen to for 5 seconds and it's running through my head for the next 5 days.
I
So
know. I find
Yeah.
myself like humming parts of it.
Listeners, you
Same.
have been warned. The theme song will stay in your head.
You know, we didn't play it for us at the top of this episode, but I was kind of upset. I played into my head a little bit.
I literally have found myself just doing random stuff around the house, and I'll just randomly feel myself being like, "Tell me all about it, young lady."
Same.
And like, and it just,
John.
it's so good.
What the hype? Boom, boom. What the hype?
If you want to see the full lyrics, by the way, the intro videos on YouTube are a sort of lyric video. Don't get too excited. It's simple, but that's where you can find the lyrics in case you're not
Our
figuring
theme
out every
song
word.
has lyrics to it. How
Yes.
amazing is that?
Yes.
We're really leveling up with this new show.
And has, I think, always been the case. We value the feedback of you, our listeners. So please feel free to send us feedback on the show structure, the topics, and the vibes in general. You know, we want to hear from you. This is a new show. And I think one of the things, at least for me, because I wasn't really involved with the launch of Millennial, is that this is the first time we're kind of dipping our toe back into the podcasting space. And, you know, the last time we did this was in 2005. It was a much different world 20 years ago, right? Like, there are so many podcasts out there now, and we want to make sure that we are delivering for you each and every week. So your feedback really is going to help to mold the show for the weeks, months, and years ahead.
Yeah, we didn't want to create another podcast unless we created something that we felt was original and could work for all of us. So we've been spending the last probably 6 months or so trying to come up with a format that we were all happy with. And the format that you're going to hear on What the Hype is the results of our work over the last few months.
And with that in mind, we just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to this episode or any of the new ones that dropped today. Like Micah said, we are a new show, so we really do need your support, and it really does mean a lot. If you have a friend or a family member that needs help juggling all the pop culture that's been thrown their way, share an episode with them that you particularly liked and let them know where you can find us as well. And also tell them that What the Hype walks through every aspect of pop culture each week. So there's something for everyone.
And then, of course, you know, we have to ask, please follow us in your favorite podcast app and leave us a review. This is going to help the show get recognized and break through the noise of the busy podcast universe. The joke about everyone having a podcast right now is a thing for a reason. There are a lot of podcasts out there, and we really want to make sure that, you know, we're getting the word out there, because we know that word of mouth is one of the best ways to get the news about a new podcast out there. So it's really, really important for us in the early days of the show. And we just so appreciate y'all in advance for subscribing, liking, leaving the reviews, all the things.
Speaking of likes and subscribes, we are on multiple social media platforms as well. If you know us from Millennial and MuggleCast, you'll be pleased to know that our social media manager, Chloe, is with us on this one as well. We are on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. What the Hype Podcast is our handle across there. And our website, whatthehypepodcast.com. And on X, because we had to be different, What the Hype Show. If you want to email us about anything, including your feedback on episodes and what you're liking about them, do that at whatthehypepodcast@gmail.com. And on our website, you can send us a voicemail by clicking the microphone in the bottom right of the site.
Isn't that cool? That's new.
I
for
had
us.
no
really
idea
cool.
that we were doing
Yes.
that. That's very cool.
I can see people like butt dialing us, accidentally clicking like my cat was on the keyboard.
I mean, honestly, we just teased some episodes we have coming down the pipeline. If you have some thoughts for our Boyserton episodes,
Oh yeah,
go ahead and start sending those in. Maybe we can use them. That would be
and
fun.
it probably goes without saying, but as everybody knows, there's so many areas of pop culture we can dive into. So if there's a fandom you want us to look at, let us know through a voicemail or through email. If there's a certain, again, broader pop culture topic that you want us to tackle, let us know. We're definitely open to ideas.
And I think as hosts too, at least for me, one of the fun things is just sitting on a show that maybe I don't know a whole lot about, right? And that's the whole idea behind what we're doing too, is to try and get people more interested in things that maybe they just heard about, but weren't willing to take that extra step. We're here to help push you out the door a little bit.
Case in point,
And ourselves.
we did the first episode on The Boys, me not having seen much, and now I'm on the latest season. So, and it's been a few weeks, or minimum, like maybe 2 weeks. So it definitely got me hooked. Our own episodes are getting us all hooked, and RIP our free time, but we're very happy to be doing it.
Yeah. So this totally happened to me with Bridgerton as well. When we did the primer episode, I hadn't quite finished season 1 yet. And I was so excited about it that I went and finished season 1 that night, and then immediately burned through Queen Charlotte as well as season 2 and season 3 part 1. So I'm up to speed, and I'm chomping at the bit for June 13th to come. I'm off work that day, so I'm literally going to couch rot and watch Bridgerton and The Boys. It's going to be a great day.
Perfect. Well, welcome to What the Hype, everybody. We're excited to have you here, and we hope you enjoy this show for months and years to come. We're very excited to be launching a new podcast and have the opportunity to do so. And I think I speak for everybody when I say I'm glad that y'all wanted to do a new podcast as well. So here we go. Let's find out what the hype is about. Thanks, everybody, again for listening. I'm Andrew.
I'm Eric.
I'm Micah.
I'm Maura.
And I'm Pamela.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Play the music.
Bye.
Let the music play.
Let's very bring in the dancing lobsters. I don't know if
Serious.
anyone's
I
gonna get that
know.
reference. Yeah.
I think this is it.
Andrew, can we get the music? Can we play the music?
Tell me all about your latest obsession. Are you a fan? Got guilty pleasures? Share your confessions. What the